Tae Woon is showing some pretty problematic behavior in the Korean drama School 2017, and the show isn't condemning him for it at all. You have no idea what I'm talking about? Let's jump right into the discussion. Without further ado, let's enter Drama Land. Hello Dramaland lovers, my name is Freda. If you're interested in more K-drama and J-drama reviews and talks, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Sometimes I feel that K-drama writers don't take toxic behavior in a relationship seriously unless it's about physical abuse. But it's not only violence that can hint at a relationship between two people being unhealthy. School 2017 and its character Tae Woon is the latest example of how there's always a thin line between jealousy and possessiveness. So today's video is not about a K-drama review, but just a discussion about why I think Tae Woon is being possessive in regards to Eun Ho and how the writers should have dealt with this problematic behavior in a better way. I'm not sure if it is necessary to say this, but I would like to mention that I'm going to express my own views here. We might agree on certain things, but on others we won't. Please do not feel offended if I'm expressing opinions that do not reflect yours. So first off, let's define what jealousy means and, in contrast, what possessiveness is, because that's a legitimate question. Jealousy is a feeling of unhappiness and anger because someone else has something or someone that you want, or a suspicion that your partner is attracted or involved with someone else. Possessiveness is a desire to control or dominate another person. So someone who is possessive wants to have all of that person's love and attention and doesn't like sharing that with anyone else. I see it as jealousy being more of just a feeling, whereas possessiveness is a behavior expressing excessive jealousy. Why do I think that Tae Woon is not just jealous but possessive? Why do I think that he crossed the line? If it was just one scene, maybe I would have been able to turn a blind eye on this. But what makes it also evident for me, and why this is bothering me so much, is the, so to say, consistency. It is more than just one scene over the course of 3 to 4 episodes that show Tae Woon's desire to control Eun Ho and not share her with any other guy. Maybe I've missed some other scenes indicating Tae Woon's bad behavior, but for me it all started with that scene in episode 8 when Eun Ho asked Dae to buy her some ice cream later on. After witnessing that scene between Eun Ho and Dae, Tae Woon tells Eun Ho that he doesn't want her to eat ice cream with Dae. Next scene. In episode 10, there's another student showing interest in Eun Ho. Eun Ho suggests they meet up later again. Tae Woon's contribution to this part of the conversation is telling her not to meet up with him later. If that isn't enough for you, here's another scene. In episode 11, we have the exact same student asking Eun Ho out for a movie date, and of course, there's nothing else to expect from Tae Woon than ordering her not to dare go with that guy to see a movie. In all of these 3 scenes, he's basically telling her who she's allowed to meet and not to meet. On top of that, during the first scene with that other student in episode 10, Tae Woon is not only barging into their conversation, but he is spitting nonsense about Eun Ho having lots of guys caring for her. That was definitely a move to convince the other student to back off. And honestly, it sounded so much as if he was implicating that Eun Ho is a man-eater, consequently putting her in a bad light. Being jealous is one thing, but lying in front of others and imputing people with supposedly bad character traits just to keep that person to themselves is the worst. Additionally, Tae Woon is telling Eun Ho not to smile at other guys and let him see her whenever he wants to. He's getting furious over her not answering a call, thinking she might be with another guy, and running over to her house to check on why she hasn't picked up his call. Like, dude, chill. Stop constantly invading her private life, because guess what? She has a life not revolving around you 24 hours a day. She should be able to have conversations with guys without you running over and interrupting. You're not entitled to dictate every minute of her life or tell her who she can and can't meet up with. The main problem I have is not his behavior by itself. Don't get me wrong, I'm not supporting any kind of possessive behavior, but it's bothering me that the show is romanticizing and downplaying Tae Woon's possessiveness. They're brushing it off as a teenage boy just being a bit jealous, making it out as a joke, or pushing it into a romantic corner. This is displayed by both Tae Woon and Eun Ho laughing about his excessive jealousy or playing upbeat or romantic music in the background. That makes it seem harmless, and as if Eun Ho is comfortable with how Tae Woon is behaving. Seeing this this just makes me feel really uncomfortable. I'm guessing that a lot of viewers don't notice Tae Woon's possessiveness and everything that's wrong with it because the show is not portraying it as such, especially as we're seeing what the show is actually, and of course correctly, condemning as wrong behavior. With Bora's and Hee-chan's plotline, we are made to witness and agree with the toxic and damaging elements of physical abuse in a relationship. Putting Tae Woon's and Hee-chan's behaviors side by side, downplaying and romanticizing one, while the other is obviously and without question exposed as bad and evil, that's just not sitting well with me, because both behaviors are wrong. A partner using violence against another and a partner being possessive and controlling over someone are both toxic. None of these should have place in a relationship. So, what could and should have the show done instead? If they wanted Tae Woon to be excessively jealous like that, then they should have at least called him out on his behavior. I mean, we actually see Eun Ho being uncomfortable with his behavior at times, but it is not really shown as her being actually mad at him. It's mostly portrayed as if she's okay with him behaving like that. So I want them to stop with the romantic or upbeat music in the background and let her angrily say that she won't put up with him telling her who she's allowed to smile at or meet with. Show me a scene where she's flat out being mad at him for interrupting her conversations with others. And, most importantly, let him understand that she's feeling uncomfortable. Let him become aware of his possessiveness and why it's not okay to behave like this. Let him show remorse and apologize. Let him grow out of this and become a better person. I want us all to have a discussion and be aware of problematic behavior like this. I'm not telling you to hate the show now, and it's not my intention to sabotage your enjoyment of the story and characters. Because it is okay to love and enjoy a drama, but be critical and point out a show's flaws at the same time. Let's continue talking not only about the good, but bad parts of a show. So let me know in the comments down below if you agree with me on this or not, or let me know which other K-dramas made you feel uncomfortable with how they portrayed certain unhealthy behaviors in relationships. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching and see you in my next video.